My name is Kellee Nixon and you're watching The Beauty Block.
Hello everyone and welcome back to The Beauty Block. And this week I have Miss Kellee in-house with us. Kellee, tell me about yourself.
Well, I grew up in Orlando. I went to school at Florida A&M, received my bachelor's, also went to Kaplan University and received my master's degree. And I moved to Atlanta in 2008.
And Kellee, tell me how you got started. First of all, when did you discover your love for makeup?
I discovered my love for makeup in college, actually undergrad. One of my good friends worked for MAC. She had car issues, so I would take her to work, and one late night she was getting off late and I was just in the store with her and I was, roaming, and I started picking up makeup from her. I would go to different gigs. She did weddings and things like that, but it was a passion, but not like a super passion for me. So that's when I really felt like, I can do some makeup sometime here and there if we go out and things like that.
So Kellee, tell me, what was your first makeup full-time job?
My first makeup full-time job, well, actually I went to cosmetic school here in Atlanta, and I was there for a full week. I did a full week at Gwyneth Mosley Makeup Academy.
Love her.
And she's my mentor. I love her to death. It was intense. It was a full week. It was very intense. And as soon as I graduated, I got a call from Tion Watkins, which is T-Boz manager, asking me to come do a pilot. So I was extremely nervous because I probably was out of school maybe a week. So I contacted Miss Gwen. I was like, Miss Gwen is like, what am I supposed to do? She's like, you're gonna go and do that job. So that was my first time I worked with T-Boz as well as Travis Payne. And from there, it just took off for me doing that one gig and just being very professional when I went on my gig and things like that.
So in terms of the makeup industry in Atlanta, where do you see it going? How do you feel about the makeup industry currently?
Especially here in Atlanta, a lot of movies are being done here. It's considered now the mini Hollywood for movies. So it's actually, increasing. And I think it's going in a very good direction, actually, especially with, like I said, the movies. That's one of the key things I really do like about makeup is I want to work on the movie set. So that's something big for me.
So tell me, what are some production you've worked in?
I've worked in TV Made. I've also did the BET Awards, the Diamond Awards, Legendary Awards, March Madness, NBA TV, CBS Atlanta. I've worked with a lot of celebrities. One that I used to love when I was really young was from 227, Jackie, and I got a chance to work with her, and that was really, really fun. She was very super nice, and that was a memorable moment because I just remember seeing her as a little girl on TV, so never think that I would actually work for her and do her makeup and things like that.
How hard do you think it is right now to break into the industry as a new makeup artist?
I wouldn't say it's extremely hard. You will have to do work to get into the industry. I usually always say it's sometimes it's where you are and you meet certain people and you can get in that way. But if you're truly passionate about it, I always tell people just work on every aspect. Because when I first started, I did theater. I didn't know where I wanted to go. I didn't know where my passion was. So I did a lot of different avenues before I figured out and just meet a lot of people, network. So far as is it hard, it just depends on that individual. How much do you want this?
What are some of the main challenges you faced while you were starting out or when you were starting out?
I would say one of the factors, I didn't know my worth. I'll say that when I first started out, because you don't know what to charge or how to charge or things like that. So when I started, and Ms. Gwyneth did teach us that, you have to know your price and what you're gonna charge. So once I started getting certain gigs, I'm like, okay, I am worthy of something. So I just started putting myself out there. But so I could say that's the major thing, is being scared at first to not know, like, am I charging too much or too less and things like that.
What's your signature look, or what look are you known for? What do clients come to you for?
I'm big on skincare. Like I just really love a flawless finish. So in brows, that's my biggest thing. I do skin prep all the time, and that's something that I really like. I don't really like the cakey look, so I like more of a flawless finish with makeup. So foundation and skincare.
Excellent. So when you're starting your makeup off, where do you start? Do you start with the brows, or where do you start your application?
The brows are first. Well, I first do skincare, skin prep, and then go into the brows. Then from the brows, I'll do the eyes and go from there. Well, the reason why I do the eyes and the brows first, because if you do your foundation first, you get fallout from like the shadows, and then so I always do my shadows first and brows.
Yeah, very true. Tell me some brands that you are loving recently.
Well,
products you've worked with.
Well, products. I will say one brand doesn't have the best of everything.
Absolutely.
So I love to work with Makeup Forever, MAC, Smashbox, Kevin Aquan, NARS. I like NARS, Becca.
Are there any trends you see emerging in makeup that you love or don't love?
Well, the trends I do not like, and I call them the crime scene brows, where you can see the concealer and not blend it. Like I just don't, and it's so wrong, but that's something I don't like. But something that I see that probably is a trend that's coming, a lot of people are doing like that, going into those colored brows, and so coloring their brows probably be like something in the future people will probably be doing.
In your experience, how is working on set differs from working freelance?
Okay, well, on set is very different because you have to abide by their hours, their pay. When you work freelance, you kind of like make your own schedule. You can set your own price. The good thing about working on set is your guaranteed funds. Regardless if you may not work one day, you're gonna still be compensated for that day.
So tell me a little more about your classes that you would like to teach or you're currently teaching.
So the classes I teach are for everyday women. It's about a 3.5-4 hour course, and it goes just for everyday women to know how to apply makeup properly. Just going over how to shape your brows, highlight, contour, putting on lashes. So it's in lips and things like that. It's just really informative because a lot of people can't afford to go to a makeup artist every time they have an event. So it's just to help them, even if they're going to work, to just know how to properly match your foundation, because a lot of people don't know that. So that's what I usually teach in my classes.
So tell us, what's the best way to match foundation, you would say?
The best way is your chest. That's what I learned. The chest is the best area because it doesn't get that much sun. That's your true color. The face gets the most sun, of course.
What's your most memorable job or client you've worked with, and why?
My most memorable, I would say, I work for the commentators for Turner Broadcasting. So working with like Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, Ernie, those guys, like it's extremely fun. We have fun and they make it so easy.
For the young woman out there who's struggling with her skin and she doesn't know how to put makeup on, what advice would you tell her about makeup and why it's something she should look into or should not look into?
So if someone is having skin issues, I always tell people, makeup can enhance beauty, but if you have a great canvas, it really enhances it really nicely. But if they're having that issue, I'll definitely tell them about, some skin products that they can possibly help them and use. But if they can get a good foundation or a good concealer, that's the main key. If they can get those two things, a color corrector, that's a key point that they should definitely have in their staple pieces, I would say.
And for women of color, in terms of foundation and matching, or just wearing makeup, what would you say it's the biggest challenge for a woman of color?
A lot of people I've met, they think that the foundation they get is just perfect for them. And I always tell people that's not true. You do have to mix your foundation, and learning your undertones are really good. And that's something I do teach in my class too, the undertoning. I know people, don't want to buy two foundations, but I recommend that.
To the new makeup artist, what are some crucial things he or she should have in their bag starting out as a new artist, you would say?
As a new artist, I would definitely tell them they should have definitely foundation, concealer, lashes, primers for the face. You need a good skin primer, and some setting powders. I would say that's your keys right there.
Well, Kellee, thank you so much for joining us this week on the Beauty Block. Definitely all the best, and we look forward to seeing all the great things you're about to do.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.